This has some major implications for the Seahawks. Let's talk about the latest headlines and how it's going to impact all of us in one way, shape, or another. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Seahawks Digest, the show that is greatly appreciative for y'all helping us hit the 1,000. Sorry, I'm projecting for 5,000, but we got 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. If you are new, the show is me, daily content, reaction to stuff. That's kind of the formula here. It's going to sometimes be rumors, sometimes be reports, sometimes be just highlights, plays, or things. But we will have daily content for you all off season and in season. All year long is probably what I should have said there. It's a free YouTube show. You get what you get. But if you want to join us, hit that subscribe button. If you're already down in that area, might as well hit like, dislike, comment, all those kinds of other things. If not, as I always say, no worries. I will be here all year to react to headlines like this one. With now robust market, Seahawks sale may happen this summer at a record price. Yes. Okay, first things first, let me ask you to comment. Do you actually care who buys the team? I'm not saying do you not have a favorite group or something like that. Just do you think it even impacts the Seahawks' ability to be a winning squad this coming season? I am in progressively less and less of a level of interest about the personality or the person behind, and it's because it's ownership groups now. And as much as we all know a Mark Cuban or Jerry Jones or George Steinbrenner, or pick your select charismatic owner who's out there screaming about winning, I just kind of get the fact that, or the impression that at the level of money, because let's talk about what this article had to say here. Ian Rappaport bringing some reporting, talking about the market being robust and saying that it's going to be a special ownership meeting called this August. It's that ownership meeting that, to me, is the factor where I don't really care about the rumors or the choices even at this point, because if the Seahawks are going to sell for, as the report says here, call this number up just so you can see it listed at both the top and bottom of this paragraph. $10 billion or in excess of $10 billion is allegedly what the Seahawks are going to be valued at. I don't think that what buys at $10 billion is one person just cutting a personal check. It's an ownership group, and at that point, it's investment capital. It's people who want to buy the Seahawks at that point. I'm sure that you will find some in this. We have some names that we'll talk about. Not talking to. Oof, big miss for YouTube show. You get what you get. But we'll have some names both in this, and then also just people that are like, what about Bezos? What about Cube? What about this? Like, sure, let's toss a bunch of names out. I don't think you get past the two-step nature of this process between the owners of the Seahawks picking a select bid to go forward with, and then the ownership group as a whole endorsing, hey, welcome to the club. I don't think you get there at $10 billion without having tons of very vanilla liquidity and investment, and just, hey, we're promised we're not going to rock the ship. We're not going to be we're going to play up to the top of our available spending, not to the bottom of our spending range. We're going to, be investing in the fans in the stadium and all. I'm struggling over words because I don't want to say like no broke bees allowed, but it's kind of that vibe anymore. Sports franchises don't sell necessarily to individual persons, as I'm saying, and so therefore don't sell to people who are going to skimp and save on these. These are, they talked about the Lakers in that previous slide that I had. $10 billion from the Buss family. The Buss family, like, that was a group that bought the Lakers for way, way cheap and then sold for $10 billion. The Buss family is never going to be another group that gets in like that in pro basketball or in all pro sports. So I think you get what I'm saying. Does it really matter to you whose $10 billion it is? Or are you thinking that, hey, like, it's about the players? This is something that maybe affects us in a couple of years once those kinds of institutional decisions about, who we're spending on starts to be impacted by these people. Okay, still though something that we got to talk about, at least the names that are being listed as potential suitors or buyers or investors or whatever you want to call it. And one group here from the ownership group of the Boston Celtics has submitted a letters of interest to Allen and Company. They were the only signatures on it. So, probably others will end up being associated with it. But I think that's an interesting one to see a group that owns another sports franchise. So maybe has a pretty good feel for just like what it takes to own this. And there's maybe not going to be as many growing pains in the initial merging process of the old and the new, but also has a pretty decent track record. Like the Celtics might not be ripping off championships every single year, but they are in it in a way that how to sustain success for it's not just start of season to end of season. It's into the postseason. It's the preseason. It's all these different things that, specific criticism of the Celtics aside, you would expect somebody who, they're really good at their first ownership group. Maybe this is something that could easily be masterable for them. Also got a billionaire, Vinod Khosla, Sun Microsystems Venture Capital. This is, to me, a perfect 1-2 punch. This guy kind of interesting that he has a minority stake in the 49ers. So maybe we don't want some turncoats, but capital group, just group investments, seem to be where all of this is going per my kind of original thesis of it doesn't matter who ownership groups are. So I like the link of a guy who's got an access to a line of credit that's in the zillions of dollars, and just makes me feel like that's a guy who's coming into this with his revenue is tied to something entirely independent of this Seahawks process. Show up, spin big, the money will still be there. You can take out other opportunities and loans and lines of credit and all that kind of stuff, like I said, to help grow this from $10 billion and one Super Bowl to 15 or 20 billion and a couple Super Bowls in this decade. So just kind of my thoughts right now on some of those are the two names listed in this article, but Rappaport talking about it being $10 billion there. I'm sure there are going to be others coming into the fray. Maybe it is Jeff Bezos. Maybe it is Mark Cuban. Maybe there is some crazy charismatic billionaire who this is just going to be a pet project that he'll spin on. But I kind of lean against that and would like I'm interested in these first two options. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. And like I said, if you want to hit that subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Till next time, we'll talk to you soon, Seahawks fans.